Hello and welcome to my channel, Kuromus here. Today I am bringing you a war domain cleric multi-classed into fighter. We will fight with a one-handed weapon and a shield, and we will wear heavy armor, making us very resilient. We are going to be concentrating in Spirit Guardian, a 3rd level spell that deals radiant or necrotic damage around ourselves. To help us maintain concentration of this spell, we will have proficiency in Constitution saving throws and defeat Warcaster, so it is going to be very difficult that it gets interrupted. On top of that, we will have excellent melee capabilities, thanks to the war domain and our fighter levels. We are going to have a good balance of area of effect damage, single target damage and some healing to sustain ourselves. We will also have a higher chance to hit thanks to guided strike, and some defensive skills like riposte later on. If you are new to the channel, kindly read the description of this video, since I explain my thought process and some consideration while making these guides. Without delay, let's begin. We are going to start our journey as a level 1 fighter. We are going to get access to second wind to heal ourselves, and we get to choose our fighting style. We can go for dueling or defense. The reason for choosing fighter is we want to have proficiency in Constitution saving throws, which is going to be vital to later on maintain concentration on Spirit Guardian. Our ability points are going to be equally distributed between strength and wisdom, and we will have a little bit of Constitution as well. We want to have high strength to be able to hit enemies in melee combat, and we want to have decent wisdom so our Spirit Guardian spell is harder to resist. At character level 2 we are going to multi-class into Cleric. Our subclass will be War Domain. This will grant us access to Divine Favor and Shield of Faith. These are provided by our subclass, which means they will always be memorized and ready to cast. If we would have started as a cleric, we will not have proficiency in Constitution saving throws. So in this case, and for the purpose of this build, I feel it is worth it to get one level of fighter at the beginning of the build. Here we can select any spells we like. We want to have a little bit of healing, and the other slots you can choose whatever you prefer, since we most likely will be using Shield of Faith. At Cleric level 2 we get Guided Strike. This is a passive that we have that will add +10 to our attack roll in case we fail. At character level 4 we will get access to our 3rd level in Cleric. This will give us access to 2nd level spells. Here we will have Magic Weapon and Spiritual Weapon, always memorized. In my opinion, Spiritual Weapon is one of the best spells for the Cleric list. The reason is you can spend a bonus action to summon a magic weapon. This weapon is controlled separately from your character and can attack enemies once per turn. At character level 5 we will be level 4 Cleric. This will give us access to our first feat. First we choose any cantrip, not really important at this point, and we're going to go with Warcaster. This will give us advantage in our concentration throw, meaning we are going to roll twice and get the better result. This, together with our proficiency in Constitution saving throws, makes this a very solid choice to maintain concentration. Character level 6 we will choose our 5th level in the Cleric class. This will give us access to level 3 spells, and we will finally obtain Spirit Guardians. We are going to have 2 spell slots for most of our adventure, so we need to use wisely in which combat to cast it and when to save it. Considering Spirit Guardians will always be memorized, here we can choose some utility spells, like Mass Healing Word for an emergency or Cliff of Warding if we need some burst damage. Now that we have Spirit Guardians, we are going to return to the Fighter class, and we're going to progress it all the way until level 5. At this level we get Action Search, which will give us an extra action to utilize on the current turn. At character level 8 we will reach Fighter level 3, and we will be able to choose our subclass. For this build it will be Battle Master, which will give us 4 superiority dice to spend on maneuvers. There are many maneuvers that fit into this build, but I think the main favorites would be riposte, menacing attack, or evasive footwork. You can also choose something like rally if you want to support your party. Once we are done with our selection, we continue into character level 9. This will give us our 4th level into fighter and therefore our 2nd feat. Since we want to be strong in melee, we will choose to improve our strength. But you can also go for constitution or wisdom if you prefer so. At character level 10 we will get our 2nd attack. As you can see, it is quite late in the build, but it does not really matter since we have strong spells to support our character until then. However, at this moment, having Spirit Guardians and the double attack plus the 3rd attack from War Priest, we can have a lot of burst damage if you choose so. We also choose a 6th level of fighter to get the 3rd feat. As well as before, we can go with strength or constitution. It is your choice, depending if you want to be more offensive or more defensive. And to wrap up the build, our final level will go into Cleric. The reason is to have an extra 3rd level slot. However, if you want 2 extra maneuvers, going another level in fighter is also valid. But this is up to you how you prefer to finish the build if you choose to play it. Once we are Cleric level 6, we get Channel Divinity War God's Blessing. This will allow to transfer the +10 to the attack roll to our party members instead of only ourselves. Here I leave you with the usual combat footage, so we can have Shield of Faith casted on us beforehand, and we're going to interrupt it by casting Spirit Guardian. You will see through the whole combat, even if we get hit several times, we will not lose concentration, which is great. Now we can spend our bonus action to cast Spirit Weapon, and after this all that is left is to bash some skulls.
Press ahead. Comes easy these days. Try me.
As usual, I keep forgetting this guy will counter spell the first spell you cast each round. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and see you in the next one. Adios.